Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I am Umar Muhammad Umar. Um, Today I'll walk you through this presentation, International Climate Change Research Consortium proposal. So what we're going to do is assess feasibility of it and see if it's possible to establish International Climate Change Research Consortium. Why is it important? And looking into CIMMYT as a host. I picked CIMMYT University to be the host of this research consortium. So hopefully I will try my best to keep as short as possible and get the points across. So first I'll give you an overview of what's called the background of the organization that's hosting this research consortium. CIMMYT University is a well-known Somali university, established 1999, and it has over 700 students. Its mission actually is quality education, applied research, and community engagement. So the vision of CIMMYT University is to be a leading center for education, research, innovation in Somalia. So if we look into CIMMYT University's research centers, there's a big research center called the Center for Research and Development. All it does is research governance, ethics, publications, partnerships, and grants. So this has its own subcategories and how it works. And there's a dedicated climate change research section, which kind of works on climate monitoring, hydrological modeling, renewable energy, climate smart agriculture. So if we look to core research focus areas is aligned with international research consortium goals. So if you establish an international research consortium goals, but probably we're going to have to need to establish different structures. And CIMMYT has proven that it works in the same areas that we are hoping to work, that we hoping the proposed research consortium to work on. So the scope is actually in climate environment, but it has proven it has worked in public and livelihoods as well as governance and policy, engineering, digital innovation. So this gives CIMMYT University the basics it needs and foundations to host the consortium. So if we look at the strategic international partners and funding, for this research consortium to work, we need partners, we need international community and people that would invest in this project, people that would work with this consortium. And CIMMYT as a host, it has to kind of prove that it has the ability to kind of work with strategic international partners. So CIMMYT has proven that it has worked with universities across Malaysia, across Asia, I would say, and Europe, so forth and so on. Also within Africa. So it has climate networks as well as worked with United Nations organizations and international organizations. Funding sources already, if you're working with the international community, so you're hoping to receive your funds, people with the same goals and vision. So hopefully those are coming from this research guarantees intended for the purpose that this consortium is going to be established for. So strategic rationale for Somali Climate Center. For this Somali Climate Center, the host nation is Somalia. So as a host, CIMMYT's what's called the main campus located in Somalia, which means the research proposed research consortium will be hosted in Somalia. So why does this has importance in Somalia? It has importance because Somalia high climate vulnerability. Somalia is one of the worst climate affected country in the world, and it is most vulnerable. Looking at statistics and all of those leaders published researches. And so CIMMYT research infrastructure is actually phenomenal, which has proven that it really has what it takes to host a consortium. So, and if we look at international alignment, the goals, and national goals and global priorities, if we looked into Sustainable Development Goal 13, which is climate change, and the Paris Agreement has actually, this actually promotes this sort of collaboration across the board. So if we look at the need for context-specific climate data, so Somalia climate change and its effects is known. It is most vulnerable, but there's no context to it. So there's no, I would say, let me pick a very good word, say literature, academic literature that specifically talks about Somalia and the sort of problems it has when it comes to climate change and the recommendations needed or the solutions to overcome this. So establishing this sort of a consortium and having these experts come all over the world to work on this project will actually promote sustainable development goal 13 and the UN Charter, which is not to leave behind no one. So if we look organizational structure for the multinational research consortium, actually you need a structured governance, compliance, partnership, integrated for multinational research. So what we've done is that looking at this, the report that I've written is detailed, but if you look to in this slide, I'm talking about how the governance and structure, compliance, and partnerships would be integrated and similar would be successfully hosted this. So feasibility assessment, we've used tellers and best findings for decision making. So we looked technical, economic, legal, operational, as well as schedule and of an overall visibility. We found that looking at all of these areas and sections and coming and look into them deeply in my report, you would find out that it's moderately high, and with the reasons that I've told you, I've written in the documents. But if we look into it, diversifying funds, making sure that funds are coming from different places, so having multiple sources of income for this research consortium will help overcome the economic visibility. Looking into economic visibility, that would be a solution which is possible. So looking technical requires digital and modeling capacity strengthening. So if there's technical help coming from other experts that CIMMET needs, already we've proven CIMMET has a very good established research capacity, then this could work out. So as well as the legal, so using maybe European partners or the Asian partners like Malaysia's legal structure, which is proven to be working, then that would work. So if we key challenges for establishing and operating international research consortium that were proposed here is these are the challenges: regulatory, ethical, ABI disperses, data methodological inconsistency, political and institutional instability, administrative and ME capacity gaps, communication, digital infrastructure, funding dependence on external sources. I've given you solutions before even giving you the challenges, but solutions was always something as a proactive that we've included in every phase of the project feasibility or assessment. So targeted solution for strengthening collaborative research. So what we going to do actually, if this proposal goes through, means joint research protocol and method handbooks. They will be used research handbooks, so that also as well shared digital research infrastructure, having a data all the data hosted in a server that is accessible from anywhere from the around the world, which means that every partner in this research consortium will be able to access the data as soon as possible. That means if the synchronization of the project members, and which means it makes the research consortium work well. So as well as multilateral sustainable funding, which is a solution to the problem, one of the problems we've stated, governance and monitoring framework, as well as having a comprehensive research risk management strategies. So operational implementation framework, if we look to, if we've digital, if the research consortium able to have data repository, analytical and cooperation portal, this is necessary for this consortium to work actually. Capacity building, to have multiple, to have teams come from one team of one what's called a member to another to make sure that the capacity of the research consortium levels up. So as well governance, as well as risk management. So I think I've completed I've finished my presentation. I think I was passionate a little bit, I was trying my best to make sure that I get my points across and actually not take that much of a time. So I tried my best to keep it as short as possible and get the points across. So hopefully something has been learned from this, and I think this is needed because of a country like Somalia, which is climate vulnerable to climate change. Having a research consortium hosted in this soil will boost its research, its academic, what's called as well as solutions to problems it has. So it's well needed, and I think Simid University is ready to host looking into feasibility assessment we've made using international uh, proven frameworks like Telazon and Bristol, enhancing national scientific and capacity climate resilience, as well as feasible with regulatory alignment, digital investment, capacity building, strengths regional and global research leadership too. So this is really at the end of my presentation. Hopefully, we'll have a good time.